Michael Barton.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for being here. The story of Americano, or the evolution of this musical, began in 2015 at a wedding reception. The gentleman that is the executive producer on the piece, his name is Jason Rose. He is in the PR business. We were at this reception. He had something on his mind, and he didn't know many people at the reception. We were waiting for the bride and groom to get there, and he came over to me. He knew that I was the artistic director of the Phoenix Theater Company, and he said, "Hey, would you ever be interested in creating a musical?" And it was going to be using this particular composer's body of work. And he said, "But I wanted this to be about immigration and the border." And I went, "Okay, all right, we'll think about it." Thinking, well, that happens quite a bit, and I'll never see him again. He showed up at my office. We got to talking. We started working on this musical. We brought in a writer, Mr. Jonathan Rosenberg, who's one of the co-writers on this piece, along with Fernanda Santos. So it's myself, Jonathan, and Fernanda Santos who wrote the book on this piece. We worked on it for about a year and a half, and it just wasn't going anywhere. But during that time, we felt like the importance of doing something positive about the border, about immigration, especially in Arizona, which was had a lot of negative press about it, rightly so, I would say. We ended up wanting to do something positive. We said, well, what about a story about a dreamer? And we searched the internet, looking for somebody's story that might pop out. Tony Valdivinos came up on the internet several times. We read several articles, so we called him literally out of the blue. He'd never been to a musical before. He didn't know much about the theater, etc. He certainly didn't know us. We called him. He said, "Sure, I'll come down and talk to you." For 2.5 hours, he came out and talked to Jason and I. And after he left, we looked at each other and said, "This is our story." The story of a young man that was brought across the border at the age of 2 and raised as if he was a citizen of the United States. He was never told any different. And until he had a passion when the Twin Towers came down. He was only in 3rd grade, 6th grade, and at that time it ignited something inside him, and he said, and he felt like, I must defend this country. I will not let my friends or family ever be frightened or scared again. He worked construction as his father did. He was a demolition individual, so he was the first on the ground to pave the way, to make things, to clear a path, to make things better. Therefore, his desire was to join the Marines, first on the ground, be there, make a difference. This individual is so extremely committed to this country that it's an amazing, inspirational story. And with that being said, I would like for you to meet the individual that I have just told you about. The story of Tony Valdivinos, Mr. Tony Valdivinos.
It's an honor to be here in New York. My story is in Arizona, but my heart has always been in this country. What it stood for, pledging allegiance to the flag. I remember since Head Start all the way to our last year and senior year in high school. My story is not unique. My story is that of many individuals in this country who just aspire to do their best for themselves, for their family and loved ones, and their contribution civically back into our society. I wanted to join the Marines when I was 18. It's something that was big part of my life. Ever since 9/11 happened, I recognized that day as one of the most shifting in my purview of what life was supposed to be, what I believed the strength of the United States was, and what we were under safety, and that safety was broken that day, and I saw my mother be shattered by it. I saw my teachers be shattered by it, and in 6th grade we were very confused what was going to happen next, and at that moment I knew that everything I had ever read about U.S. Marines in World War II, I knew that that's the journey that I wanted to follow, and I believed in it thoroughly until the moment came. Friends of mine joined at the same time that I was declined. And a couple of years later, I met a Marine, Lima Company, 325 Lima Company, Marine infantryman that changed my life. I got assigned to volunteer with the gentleman to go knock on doors trying to help Latinos participate in elections. Arizona was going through a shift in policy that was not towards improving people's lives, but mostly destroying people's families. And so we got involved, and I met a Marine who showed me the way, taught me the definition of honor, courage, commitment, and that story is what Ameriano is about. Is a young lad who just didn't give up, and met a Marine who showed him how to continue fighting. And to this day, I believe in that, and I continue doing that work. And I appreciate everybody coming. Thank you. All right, we're going to introduce Come Join the Marines, which will be performed. No, thank
you. When I was only 7, I watched souls go to heaven as the towers went up in flames. That monumental collision helped me make a decision, and my life would never be the same. I knew right then and there, smoke filled the air, gonna save the American dream. I'm gonna stand up and fight to protect our rights. When I'm 18, gonna join the Marines.
Come and join the Marines, be a part of our team. If you want to stand up and fight to protect our rights, brave up, come and join the Marines. Never silence, you were back, you know we got your back. Motivators, first responders to the scene. For natural disasters, extremist masters, we're the ones who bring relief to those in need. Honor, courage, and commitment, are you tough enough for boot camp where they push a human body to extremes? No better way to serve your country, first to fight, first to glory, brave up, come and join the Marines, come and join the Marines, be a part of our team. If you want to stand up and fight to protect our rights, brave up, come and join the Marines. Hoorah! Hoorah!
always believed that the United States would pass legislation that would allow them to become citizens. In the song We Can Go This Way, Felicitas tells her now adult son the story she never told him, the how and why the Valdovinos family made the decision to come to the United States from Mexico.
Taking just a quick pause while two of our ladies are finishing getting dressed.
To hurt you, but to keep you from hurt. Now I know. When you were born, things in Mexico were starting to change. Your father was a financial advisor at Banamex, a very important position. You know he has a university degree in economics.
I know.
A few years later, Mexico's economy began to collapse. The bank had to let your father go.
Little voices, little hands,
There was no work to be had.
difficult
Nothing.
choices, but you
I knew we
know
had to go north. Your father was against it, but I convinced him.
we'll fight for a family. It's so easy when you're born right here instead of there.
We worked the fields in Sahuarita. Then your dad heard about day laborer work in Phoenix. Little hardships, little lies. We all do what we must to survive. Grateful for what we've got. We know it's a lot more than most can hold. Truth be told, we could go this way, we could go that.
Once we choose, there is no turning back. Gotta take our chances, gotta pick our sides. Gotta keep on dancing, see what fate decides.
His dreams of becoming profesor changed to trabajador agrícola. He did this for us. From the Rio Grande to the Great Divide, Sonoran desert leaves no place to hide. Invisible lines we made, now our children's fate hangs on what we choose. So much to lose. When we came here, I didn't realize I was pregnant with Hector. While I was taking care of the baby, you were with your father. Martin was working 7 days a week. It became impossible to even think of going back.
We could go this way, we could go that. Once we choose, there is no turning back. Gotta take our chances, gotta pick our sides. Gotta keep on dancing, see what fate decides.
I see a man, not a boy, whose sole purpose is to defend those who cannot defend themselves. Just like your great-great-grandfather. He would be so proud of you.
I know Papa sacrificed a lot for the family. And for that, he will always have my respect. But I can't stay.
I pray for the day that you and your
I pray for that day too, Mom.
For a feeling, for a land, for a promise written in the sand. Decisions we had to make, hearts that we will break as we carry on, waiting for each dawn. We could go this way, we could go that. Once we choose, there is no turning back.
Gotta take our chances, gotta pick our sides. Gotta keep on dancing, see what fate decides. Gotta keep on dancing, see what fate decides.
We have one more number that we would like to show you, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that thank you to a couple of individuals that have been responsible for us being able to be here today at all. Jason Rose, who's our executive producer, and Ken Davenport, who helped us a great deal along the way. Donna Trinkoff from Amas Theater for helping to produce our workshop here. Financially, we would absolutely not be here if it wasn't for the passion and commitment from Chicanos por la Casa. Tony learns possibly that through an interview with a recruiter, that the potential of him not being a citizen becomes very real. He confronts his family and he learns the truth. And with that, he sings a song of defeat at first, anger, and then power and commitment and courage to find a way forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dreamer.
I didn't know I was a dreamer, although the sound of it rings true, calling out to my Redeemer. Nothing is what I thought I knew. A family built on living lies. I was too blind to realize that I've always been a dreamer, without a land to call my own. A crooked line, a jagged border. One step inside and you are free. The other way is out of order. Now it's impossible to be the man who stands up for what's right, the brave Marine who joins the fight. But then I've always been a dreamer, without a land to call my own. But this is my home, this is my home, my heart, my soul, my heart, my soul. Who's to say this great country I vow to defend is no longer my own, no longer my own. I'm alone, my roots are sore, my roots are sore. All I've ever known is I'm an American. This is my home. I can't believe they would deceive me. I trusted Mom with all my heart. Papa let me grow up believing that we belonged here from the start. How could they leave out this detail and make my life a living hell? I can't believe they would deceive me. Now I know where to call my own. I've always known I was a fighter, so now they put me to the test. In my heart there is a fire to carry on despite the rest of those who say I cannot pass. He cannot pass. He's got no chance. He's got no
the situation that she was facing. And I wanted to come up here and recognize in solidarity the children that are under siege in Ukraine. We're all looking at these stories and we see the terror, and it's almost unbelievable to watch this. And just as the president of Ukraine said, every day for them for the last 3 weeks has been a 9/11. And for us, for me at least, looking at the situation, it's hard to recognize that we are still, as a society, as human beings, in conflict of that nature, where we have Russian tanks bombarding a theater full of people taking refuge. So I just wanted to come out here with some solidarity with the children of Ukraine. My mother's fight and decision and sacrifice to leave everything behind to just give her children a chance. And that's part of the biggest reason I wanted to come up here with the flag and show solidarity, is that every mother does what she can to protect her children, and that's what this song is about. Thank you.